don't try to sound fancy. Don't try to sound smart. Don't try to use big words. Don't try to write long sentences. Don't sound formal. It will not serve you. It always backfires. You are much better off remembering that your audience is always a human being, except for when you're typing to Chat GPT, and that's a whole different whole different thing.
Hey, it's Nick Armstrong, and this is the Founded in FoCo podcast. In every episode, we get to talk with an innovative mover and shaker in our community. And today's episode, I am super psyched for because we have Sara Rosinsky, and Sara is one of our most popular speakers at Founded in FoCo, and you'll find out why in short order. Sara, introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Well, hi, and thank you. I am Sara Rosinsky. My business is Shiny Red Copy. I am a copywriter. That means I write propaganda for commerce and industry. And I have been doing that for, over 3 decades now. That's my primary gig. And I also am the author of a book about the English language, where I love words. So I'm all about that too.
Your first bit of messaging that came across my radar, because you came in through Candace Edelin from Propel Growth. And Candace shared with me a few of your LinkedIn posts, which are absolutely hilarious. So what is it that it takes a special talent to bring humor into your marketing? And what is it that drove you to say, I'm really good at copywriting. I can make this funny and entertaining too at the same time. How did you get to that point?
Well, the beauty of being your own boss is that you get to do anything you want the way you want to do it. So when I began freelancing again in 2016, I thought, LinkedIn, there's my audience, right? These are all people in business, and everyone needs to use words to communicate. And I thought, well, what can I share with them? I thought, well, what do I know about? I know about writing. I know about words. I know about problems with words. And so to answer your question about tone, that's kind of my natural vibe. Like I did stand-up comedy early in my adulthood, and I really like humor. So given the opportunity to be irreverent, surprising, playful, I'm going to do that. And as my best client, I am tolerant of, anything I want to write.
I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. WTF marketing's my nom de plume. So I'm curious if you've had that similar experience of folks opting in or opting out of your service based on that tone and tenor.
I'm going to say much more of the former. People, I can't believe what a community it has created. And I'm not even taking credit for that. It's just there are people who share my enthusiasm. And when they find both me and the people who follow me, they engage in these great conversations. Even this morning, I won't bore you with the details, but there have been many dictionary entries shared, commented upon, etymology. So, and it is infrequent that I get negative comments. It has happened, but it's very infrequent. I think people self-select.
It's interesting that we live in this world of everything has to be so polished. SEO, it has to be on brand. It has to have the exact right keywords. It has to be, and yet folks like you and I can exist in the space where it's just irreverence all day long and we still get the job done. What do you think attributes to that success? And especially in the world of we have Grammarly now, and we have these AI copywriters. Chat GPT, I'm sure, is a big thing now entering your view. So how do you view the role of humanity in that space of copywriting, of making marketing individualized, and not surrendering to the AI overlords that are coming to take our jobs?
No. Ha ha, she said weakly, looking side to side. I won't even go down that road, but I will answer your question. think you said it. Humanity is valuable. People, isn't that what we all want? We all want to be heard. We all want to be, connected with other human beings. So, um, I, I, I can think of people I admire on LinkedIn, and there's a Yiddish word, mensch, right? It's just a human being. It's someone you value because they clearly have a heartbeat and feelings and a sensibility, right? And Chat GPT is never going to have any of those things.
Yeah, there's this famous line from Mythic Quest of like, I feel inspired, and the other person goes, I feel emotionally manipulated, and what's the difference? um, I think these AI tools get us really close to that emotional manipulation space because you can order words and you can change verbiage and things like that to make things inspiring. But as you said, the humanity, the heartbeat behind it is where it's all at. And that's one thing that I really find humbling about your work is that it's so human, that it
Oh,
connects us
sweet.
back to the errors that we're all prone to make. And I still have your bookmark that you gave to
Oh,
me
good.
last startup week, and I showed that to my kiddos so that they can learn from it too.
Oh, neat. Good.
What has inspired you as you went down this path of work? You started, a startup comedy, stand-up comedy, and now you've written a book. So how did you get from stand-up comedy
Okay.
to writing a book in your industry?
Well, the huge creamy filling between those two Oreo cookies has been copywriting. That is what I've done for my entire career in an ad agency and in-house at public supermarkets for myself. The book came about because I had been sharing those lessons that we were talking about earlier on LinkedIn. And the more of those I wrote, the more requests I got for particular topics, and I kept fulfilling those requests. Or sometimes I'd say, oh, I've done that particular lesson, and then I would look it up and share it. And at a certain point it became clear what I need to do is compile these and add an index. So that, I mean, the book almost had to happen. It just it's not like I was 12 years old and thought later in life I must write a book. It really was the a necessary topic, I think, that the world was kind of hungry for. Has always been hungry for. I did, and I just thought I could put something together that people would appreciate. So anyway, oh, I should tell people the book is called Unflubify Your Writing. I don't think we've even mentioned that. They might have thought,
Do you have it with
I,
you?
funny you should ask. There it is.
I love it.
Um,
It makes an appearance at exactly the right time.
there,
uh, so what does inspire you when you're looking around and trying to add that extra human element back to your work? What inspires you? Who are you looking to in terms of copywriting or other just creative entities in the world?
these days, I think my favorite copywriter, the person I admire the most, is Laura Belgray. She talk about funny. She's hilarious. She herself has written a book. You should pardon the expression. It's called Tough Titties. That's going to be coming out this summer. Um, and I recommend everyone pre-purchase it. I have. I just think she's so great. Um, so do I get inspiration from that? I don't know. I get amusement from it. I I remain pretty inspired all the time. I'm always thinking of things I want to write about. My only problem is there are only 24 hours in a day, and I only have one life. Like I there are more things I want to do than I have the time to do, unfortunately.
Tell us about your talk at Founded in FoCo, because talking about having to make choices,
hmm
Sarah's would be an excellent to add to your schedule. So tell us why we should do that.
Well, first I'll say this. Everyone needs, every English speaker needs to know how to write and how to speak, regardless of how casual you can be with your friends and family, there comes a time when you need to try to speak clearly and properly to strangers or to prospects or to potential customers, right? Business partners. There just comes a time when you have to, I liken it to clothing. You can dress in whatever you want at home with your family, but at a certain point you got to like dress up a little bit and go out in the world and, introduce yourself. So, if you have your own business, it is really important that you have a good grasp of the language, and confidence also helps. You will be more successful in your communications if you feel confident about what you're saying or writing. So that is what I'm going to try to cram into my talk, or just some good tips about things you don't need to worry about and things that you want to understand so that you can both communicate better and feel more confident about what you're saying.
So knowing that you only have 40 some minutes to
Yeah.
convey all of that, what is the one thing that you would tell a small business owner, a freelancer, a newbie copywriter, somebody who wants to really find that
hmm
voice and articulate it?
Here is my single piece of advice to everyone in the world. Don't try to sound fancy. Don't try to sound smart. Don't try to use big words. Don't try to write long sentences. Don't sound formal. It will not serve you. It always backfires. You are much better off remembering that your audience is always a human being, except for when you're typing to Chat GPT, and that's a whole different thing. But if the person you're trying to get money from or get a purchase order from, or whatever the case may be, that person has worries and a family and goals and has a sense of humor, for crying out loud. So remember that and connect with them and give them the relief of knowing that they're connecting with a person, not a fancy pants character out of a Jane Austen novel, right?
One of my favorite quotes, I think it was from Benjamin Franklin. He said, I regret that I didn't have the time to make this letter shorter.
Yes. Yeah. It can sometimes be hard, but it's also really gratifying. Making a habit of ridding your writing of anything extraneous. It's a little bit like a game. I love it. I love cutting copy.
Where can we find out more about you and your business, Sara?
I am on the interwebs at shinyredcopy.com. Uh, I mean, that's the best place, but of course I'm on social media under the same, either my name's Sara with no H, Sara Rosinsky with a Y at the end, or Shiny Red Copy. I'm all over the place. And LinkedIn is where I am the most active, but I'm on Twitter. I have 2 Instagram accounts. I probably spend too much time on social media, frankly, if we're
where
being honest.
where can we find your book too? That's
Well, you can go to unflubify.com. That's got 2 B's in the middle. Or you can just look on Amazon for my name or for that word. That word is only in one title. It helps to come up with a neologism that no one's ever used before.
did we cover everything that you wanted to cover today?
I think so, except I just want everyone to come. I love meeting people in person. I have made friends from this conference, from this event. I really come on out. It's so easy to stay home. COVID put people into bad habits for the rest of their lives, getting too comfortable at home. So go ahead, get out, come interact with humanity. I promise it will be a good experience, and good things will come from it.
Absolutely true. And not just because I'm the organizer of the event, but because the team that is behind this has worked so very hard. Every single track is pure gold. So you will find something that you can put into action in your business immediately. And
Yes.
that's the value of Founded in FoCo. We just want to give back. So Sarah, thank you for being an integral part of that. And thank you for your time today with me.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. And for more great entrepreneurial advice, visit foundedinfoco.com or come see us in person at Front Range Community College, March 1st through 3rd. Can't wait to see you there. See you next time. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Nick Armstrong, and this is a Founded in FoCo podcast. For more great interviews like this one, join us at foundedinfoco.com.